Was this Bush's idea?
It was. Yeah. If you read the Pentagon plan, it talks about a strategy of tension, breaking Iraq into 3 parts, and it says it will. It's called the Pentagon office is called P20G, and it's meant to kill innocent Muslims so they will become terrorists as a pretext to stay in Iraq.
Well, they're doing a bloody good job. That's all I can say. Jim is in Kilmarnock in Scotland. Jim, you're on the air through to Alex Jones.
Hello. Thank you very much, Alex.
Yes, sir.
I was listening earlier on, and I believe you know David Icke, or you've been in contact with David Icke.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to him quite a bit.
Yeah. This is the same David Icke.
Let's get to your question, Jim.
Okay. My question is...
Too late. Let's get Richard in London. Let's have some sensible conversation. Richard, you're on the air.
Good evening.
Yes, Richard.
Mr. Jones, it's a pleasure to talk to you. I've spoken to you once before on this show. I'd love to ask you so many questions.
Make it one, Richard. What is it?
Okay. All right. It's directly. Scientology. Scientologists, are they in threat?
I'm not a Scientologist. I'm not a fan of it. We'll just put it there. They say a lot of things I agree with, like Prozac on its own insert admits it increases suicide. So how is it an antidepressant? Every mass shooter in the last 20 years, every mass shooter has been on a SSRI, the same family as that. So they say a lot of things that I agree with, but then I disagree with the overall group and the things they do, and do not want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. I'll just leave it at that.
You don't have that. You see, I find all religion, and the books of L. Ron Hubbard are fascinating. I don't know if you ever read any, Alex, and he had a fascinating take on life, but we'll talk about that.
I read one of his science fiction books. Yeah. It was pretty entertaining.
James is... what are you waving at me for, Ash? Any reason or not? No,
I wasn't waving, man.
Oh, good. It must have been me fantasizing
You're
again.
Hallucinating.
James in West Sussex. Hello, James.
Hello. I wanted to ask Alex if he thought or agreed with me that the people behind the massacre of the Iraqis and the Palestinians, named by Michael Collins Piper in his book, The High Priests of War, nearly all Jewish, are also the people behind the plot that he's talking about for world domination.
Well, I have to say that I do not believe this is a Jewish or Zionist conspiracy. And if you look at the way humans behave and act, we get in gangs. And you do have a lot of people, with the whole Israel lobby that is a very strong gang. But it is basically indistinguishable from the Anglo-American establishment. And so I think that when we simply single it out and say that we went into Iraq for Israel and it's all about Israel, that's not the case. The New World Order does a cost-benefit analysis, and they say, will we get trillions of dollars in no-bid weapons contracts over the 10 years we'll be there? And that was the official Pentagon plan, at least 10 years of troops there, and we're now 6 years into it. We just had the 5th anniversary, now starting the 6th year last week. They say we will be able to jack up oil prices because it will actually cut back on the flow of oil, and there's too much oil, contrary to peak oil fraud. They say in Afghanistan we'll be able to control the opium flow. They say we'll be able to have domestic crackdowns politically in the U.S. and in England. So there's a whole bunch of different groups and special interest that come together, and then when you get big trouble is when the oil industry and the weapons industry, and then some of the, because I want to say some, about half the public in Israel isn't for war, but when certain camps in Israel do want war, yes, when you get that perfect storm of that congruence of different special interests, you get really bad things that happen. But I have just found that the Israel is the source of all evil crowd are very deceptive. And I'm not talking about Piper. I'm not going to touch that. I mean, the point is that literally they think humanity would live in peace and everything would be okay if it wasn't for Jews. And I'm sorry, there is evil in every group, and it just becomes a big distraction when we obsess on one group all day. And I've just seen so much dishonesty from that particular camp. I mean, there's also camps that, I mean, here's an example. There's a Scientologist who's like 60 years old named Alex Jones. I'm 34, by the way. People say I'm a Scientologist. There's a National Public Radio reporter named Alex Jones. They say that's me. It's not. He's like 70. Alex S. Jones. They say I'm not Catholic, by the way, but they claim I'm a Catholic Grand Poobah, or they say I'm a Zionist agent. And that's what discredits our movement, is that there's so many niches and sub-clubs and people who don't ever try to wake the public up about big issues.
Listen, that's okay, because, Alex, if you Google James Whale, you will occasionally come up with the fact that I am a gay film producer who was responsible for Frankenstein movies. I'm quite happy to be that. Listen, let me tell you. Alex, are you going to stay on for a little bit after the news?
Absolutely. I've got to run to my TV show in 1 hour, but
right.
But I can hang with you about 20 minutes in the next hour.
Okay. We're going to take a little break in a moment for the news. Have we got time for another call, do you think, in there?
No.
But we've got time to say,
You got 30
see
seconds.
Endgame at prisonplanet.com or see it for free on Google Video. Google Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement. It will change your worldview. You will have the blueprint.
Okay, thanks very much indeed. Alex is going to stay with us, so we will take a couple more calls after the news. 08717 22 3344. This is from Paul, again in Northern Ireland. He says, would Alex like to comment on the work of Alan Watt?
I think
20 seconds.
I just think he's fabulous, and he's based in Canada, but originally from the UK. And his research is just absolutely impeccable. And everything he talks about, I've already discovered for myself to be true.
Okay.
He just says it very eloquently. You ought to have him on.
Okay.
On 1089 and 1053 AM. James Whale on TalkSport.
That's not funny. Right, welcome back tonight. Coming up last hour of the show tonight. Been a good show. We've had David Icke on, and of course we've got Alex Jones on at the moment. Alex has to disappear fairly soon. He's on the TV. What do you do on your TV show, Alex?
Oh, it's where I started out like 13 years ago, and I still do it once a week, just local here in Austin.
Yeah.
And I go down for an hour, sometimes take calls, usually just cover news and comment on subjects, and then we take that hour and we upload it to prisonplanet.tv for folks to see it around the world. They're at prisonplanet.tv.
Okay. How many local TV stations are there in Austin?
There are, that's a good question, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's about 12 or 13.
Do you know, there's one local TV, well, two local TV stations, one BBC, no commercials, and one ITV in the capital. And that is the same for every town and region around this country.
Well, you're trying to change that. I know that. And we've got the TV tax people running around. So and now they want to tax you having a computer.
Oh, listen, if you what the thing I tell everybody, and I'm always getting into trouble for it, is you don't have to have a TV license. Obviously, it's illegal in this country to watch a television without a license, right? So obviously you shouldn't do that. But when you've ignored the letters because they keep a database on everybody and they just assume that everybody has a TV, and in this country you are innocent till proven guilty, but not a TV license. You're guilty until you can prove yourself innocent.
Yeah, they're phasing out the Magna Carta.
Exactly. So the best thing, no TV person has got the right to enter your home without a warrant. And the only way they catch people is when people say, oh yeah, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. Don't answer the door if they knock on the door.
Well, that's the point I'm making. The government isn't your friend. It's out of control. It's gotten too big. Historically, it's a nightmare. There is a group of technocrats who study our psychology, study our activities, and they're using these technologies to control us.